What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my Draftkings MMA picks for UFC Vegas 62. We have Alexa Grasso going against Viviane Araújo.
I need all the wins, yeah. Harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And we're back for another DraftKings picks video this week, talking about some UFC Vegas 62. It is an 11-fight card. We were supposed to have 12 fights. We did lose the Brandon Royval Askarov fight, which it was probably, if not the best fight on the entire card. So the card took a little bit of a hit, but I think it's a good card. I really like this card from a DraftKings perspective as well, so can't wait to break it down. I am very sorry for the late release. Was hoping to maybe get this video out actually on Sunday. I was leaving for vacation on Monday. I got everything done, but the salaries were not out in time, so I had to wait until Friday, which is today. They added a new fight in the process, so just getting this out a little bit late here, but kind of glad I did because the Royval fight did fall off on Friday there. So we're going to talk about it. Before we do so, if you guys can please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you want to support me more, be sure to check out dfsbythenumbers.com. Tons of stuff on there, DraftKings related, betting related, lots of great stuff there. Check it out. $10 a month for that DFS package. Includes an optimizer, targets, projections, rankings, all that good stuff. So check that out. But without further ado, I say we get into it, and we will start with the fight doesn't go to decision lines. We have some big ones here. We have Todorovic Wright minus 800. Fight doesn't go to decision. And this is a Jordan Wright fight. That means it is a fight that is borderline must target. I believe I have, if not 100%, very, very close to 100% exposure in this fight. Jordan Wright is about as live as it gets in the first round. If he wins, it's going to be in the first round. If he loses, it's probably going to be in the first round. The guy has, 15, 16 fights. He's never been to the third round. He's never been over 1.5 rounds. So yeah, I think somebody gets finished here. I think somebody gets finished here early. I have a ton of this fight. I do have more of the Dusko side. I think Dusko does go out there and finish Jordan Wright. I think Dusko has more paths to victory, but Jordan Wright, he's as live as it gets. One of the more intriguing dogs on the entire slate. Next, we have a weird fight here. We have Mike Jackson going against Pete Rodriguez. Not really going to touch much Mike Jackson. I think, maybe he could potentially pull off the upset here against a very inexperienced Pete Rodriguez. But even if Mike Jackson does win, I don't really see him getting a finish. He's not really a finisher. He's a guy that likes to go out there and just not lose. It looks like he's going out there and trying to not get knocked out, not going out there and trying to win the fight. Whereas Pete Rodriguez, he's going to go out there and he's going to try to take off Mike Jackson's head. And I think he does that. I think Pete Rodriguez knocks out Mike Jackson in the first round. Pete Rodriguez is the biggest favorite on the card. His inside the distance line is like minus 300, something crazy like that. So yeah, I'm going to have a ton of Pete Rodriguez. As far as Mike Jackson, I will not be touching him. Next, we have the new fight. This was added on Monday morning, I believe, or Sunday morning. We have Joanderson Brito going against Lucas Alexander. And yeah, I think this is a good fight to target, but I'm more so from the Brito side. He's 9,400. This guy is a finisher, I believe, finishing all but one or two of his wins. Very dangerous on the feet with a lot of power, and then also a very good submission game, BJJ black belt. Lucas Alexander, he's coming in here on short notice. He weighed in. He looked really good, but he has been finished in both of his losses, both by submission. I'm actually personally picking a knockout win for Joanderson Brito. I don't like the striking defense of Alexander. Hands very low. He likes to come forward. I think Brito knocks him out here. But yeah, if Brito wants to take him down, I think the sub is live as well. So yeah, I like Brito here. Another fight where I'm not going to be playing a ton of Alexander, maybe a little bit, because I actually like a lot of this guy's game. He's big, he's long, he's rangy, comes forward, throws a lot of volume, but it's a tough ask for him to come in here on short notice and take on a killer in Joanderson Brito. Next, we have Alonzo Menefield going against Misha Cirkunov. We have Menefield 8,900, Cirkunov 7,300. Another fight that is borderline, pretty much must target. It's a striker versus grappler matchup, a fight that I think has a very, very good chance of finishing in the first round. And I think it plays out one of two ways. I think either Alonzo Menefield goes out there and knocks out Cirkunov in the very first round, or Cirkunov gets a takedown and finishes Menefield on the mat. So another fight that I'm very heavily invested in. Menefield 8,900, Cirkunov 7,300. Cirkunov, one of the more intriguing dogs on the slate for that first round upside. All right, next we'll go to the core plays. And by the way, sorry about my voice, guys. I'm sick again. I'm done going on vacations. Second time in a row where I went on vacation, came back sick. So I'm done. I'm sick of it. But yeah, that's why my voice is kind of like messed up. But next we have Pete Rodriguez going against Mike Jackson. We talked about it a little bit. He's 9,500, very pricey, but I feel like this fight's gonna end in the first round. The under 1.5 is ridiculous. It's like it's like minus 285, like something crazy for the under 1.5. So the odds makers are saying that this fight is going to end in the first round and a half. So you got to have some Pete Rodriguez here. And like I said, I don't think Mike Jackson's going to go out there and finish Pete Rodriguez. If he does, it's maybe late because Pete Rodriguez gasses out or something crazy like that. But I don't see it getting extended. I think Rodriguez finishes him in the very first round. And for that reason, I will have a fair share of some Pete Rodriguez. Next, we have Mana Martinez, 8,500. I like Mana Martinez here quite a bit. He's going against Brandon Davis, 32 years old, and yeah, I didn't like what I see from Davis in his last fight against Danat Bakary. It's against Danat Bakary, who does hit like a truck, but guess who does hit like a truck as well? That's Mana Martinez. I just did not like how Brandon Davis looked in that fight. He looked washed, which is weird to say because he's only 32 years old. But everything that was landing from Danat was just hurting Brandon Davis. He was getting a bad reaction on everything that was landing there. And like I said, Danat hits very hard, but Mana hits very hard in his own right. I think Mana Martinez knocks out Brandon Davis here, and I think it could be even in the first round. Mana Martinez, outside the UFC, had finished all of his wins in the first round. Since getting to the UFC, he has not been able to find a first-round knockout or a knockout in general, but he has shown some power. He showed some power against Ronnie Lawrence, and if he lands cleanly against Brandon Davis, I think he could put him out here. So 8,500, I like me some Mana Martinez to go out there and get the first-round knockout, hopefully. Next to Nick Maximov, 8,300. Yeah, I think this is a fight as a whole that isn't really projected to finish, but a fight as a whole that I think is very important to target. And I think the upside with both guys is great, especially these prices, right? In the mid-range. Maximov 8,300, Malkoun 7,900. Like, when these guys win, they're scoring a ton just because they have this relentless wrestling style. I see a ton of takedowns in this fight. I see a ton of control time in this fight. I see reversals in this fight. And Nick Maximov is a guy that's capable of going out there and shooting upwards of 15 to 20 takedowns if need be. So yeah, I like Maximov personally, but both sides are definitely in play here. But I think whoever wins this fight is going to put up a massive, massive score. And then Dusko Todorovic, 8,700. We talked about it a little bit. Somebody's getting served here. Somebody's getting served probably in the first round. Jordan Wright has been finishing all of his losses. Dusko, I think, has more paths to victory. BJJ black belt, solid striker with power on the feet, but it's going to be the ground game that I think is going to be the difference here. I think Dusko, if he gets on top, the fight's going to be over. His ground and pound is vicious. Like I said, he does have that BJJ black belt in his back pocket. So I think if this fight hits the mat and Dusko's on top, the fight is going to be over shortly after. So yeah, I'm on the Dusko side here, but I will have my fair share of Jordan Wright, as you always should. GPP plays here, our tournament plays. We have Alonzo Menifield, 8,900. Talked about this one before as well. Yeah, I think he has a good chance to go out there and knock out Serkinov in the first round. Serkinov's been finished a ton. 7 times Misha Serkinov has been finished. 35 years old now in Serkinov. Menifield hits like an absolute truck. Menifield's very live to get this first round finish. So yeah, this is another fight where I'm going to have a ton of exposure and looking for that first round finish for Menifield here at 8,900. Anderson Britos at 9,400. Talked about it before as well. I think he's more on the safer side here, around a minus 400 favorite coming against a newcomer. And yeah, I just think he has a lot of paths to victory here, and paths to victory to score well. Whether it's a knockout on the feet, the guy hits like a truck, and like I said, I don't like the strike and defense of Alexander. Or Brito has very good wrestling, very good BJJ. Alexander's been finished in both his losses, both by submission. Take this guy down on the mat and submit him as well. So I think Brito is very live for a finish, and probably in the first round. Tatsuro Taira, first time we're going to be talking about this fight. This is a fight where it is a striker versus grappler, and Taira's grappling slick, very, very good grappler. Vergara has been submitted before. Did watch a fight where he got taken down and submitted actually shortly after, with all in the span of 15 seconds, got taken down and just finished quickly. So I mean, if Taira is able to get on top of CJ Vergara, take his back, the fight could be over. Like that. Taira is no joke on the mat. The problem with this fight is, I don't know, if Taira's not able to get this fight down to the mat, what does it look like? I feel like it's a close fight, but just one back take, one takedown, I think that could be it. So for that reason, I think Taira has that submission upside, and we'll be having some. Alexa Grasso, 9,000. Yeah, I'll be honest, I was going to have Askar Askarov in this spot here, but since that fight got pulled, I did add Alexa Grasso here. I'm not crazy about this main event. Honestly, I'd probably play more Viviane, if anything, but the reason I did have to put it here is because the 5-round aspect of things, and she's going to be throwing a lot of volume. Maybe she does, grapple a little bit. She's been grappling more in her past fights as well. But yeah, that 5-round aspect of things is the only reason I would look towards this fight for Grasso and Viviane, especially if Viviane's price tag. But it's not a main event I'm crazy about. I think there's much better fights to target, to be honest. But I'll have some Grasso, and I'll have some Vivian. Live dogs here. Jordan Wright, 7,500. The guy's the definition of a live dog. He's live in every single fight for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The guy offensively is a savage. Very dangerous, but defensively, a complete opposite. He's horrible defensively, and he's been knocked out a million times. He probably gets knocked out here, but if he goes and wins this fight, it's going to be in the first round, and he's even a guy that's live for that 60-second bonus, right? So I will have some Jordan Wright. Jordan Wright is always in play on any given slate. Next, we have Cub Swanson at 7,400. Yeah, I don't mind Cub Swanson here. He's cutting down weight class here to 135 for the first time in his career, which is interesting. And I don't know, at the weigh-ins, he looked good, I suppose. He did have those sunglasses on, and he was doing his media with who was it? He had somebody talk for him at media day, which was weird and very concerning. So, throw those concerns aside, I think it's a very close fight. I think Cub Swanson can be competitive in the volume here against Jonathan Martinez, and I think Cub Swanson is very live to knock out. Jonathan Martinez has been finished once by knockout, but he's been dropped a ton in the UFC. I don't trust the chin of Jonathan Martinez, and if Cub Swanson's able to come down here and that power is able to translate, I think he's very live to knock out Jonathan Martinez here. But 7,400 is somebody I'll definitely be looking at for Cub Swanson. Misha Serkinov is 7,300. Talked about it a little bit. One takedown, the fight could be over shortly after. I think his grappling is on a completely different level than Alonzo Menafield. On the feet, I think he's a liability with that chin. He's been knocked out a ton. Menafield hits hard, but if he's able to get the fight down to the mat, he's going to probably run through Menafield. So Serkinov, another guy, 7,300. I think he's very much so in play. And then Jacob Malkoun, 7,900. I'm personally on the Maximov side, not with a ton of confidence, but yeah, the winner's going to score a ton here. If Malkoun wins this fight, it probably means he was able to be the better wrestler. He's going to be able to get takedowns here, and that's all going to add up. Like I said, takedowns, reversals, control time. There's going to be a ton of that in this fight. So I like the Maximov side, but Malkoun is a very, very good underdog this week at 7,900. Pump plays here, CJ Vergara, 7,100. I'm personally picking a Tyra sub, but if Vergara is able to keep the standing, he did miss weight by a good amount today, so he's going to be maybe have a size advantage with that. I don't know, but if he's able to keep the standing on the feet, I think it's competitive. I think Tyra's a very good striker, just super low volume. I think Vergara can win minutes just with the volume, with the forward pressure. But yeah, one takedown is probably over is the only thing. But yeah, Vergara, I think he's a solid play here. Now 7,100, he's very tough. I just really worry about the ground game. But we'll see what happens here. So give me Vergara, 700 as a pump play. If he's able to keep this standing, I think he has a good chance of winning. Fades Pierre Rodriguez, 8,600. I actually like Pierre to win this fight. I know Sam Hughes is a very popular dog. Sam Hughes has got it done twice in a row here. But, yeah, Piera, I think she wins. I think she can mix in takedowns. I don't see a finish. Sam Hughes, very tough, very durable. I don't see a ton of volume from the Rodriguez side. I don't really see a ton of takedowns, like a couple here and there. I just think there's much better options, especially around the price range of Rodriguez. You have Maximov there. You have Mano Martinez there. You just have a lot better plays than this fight. And this fight is a fight in general where I'm just not touching it all that much. All right, but that is about it, guys. Went through all of the picks there. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter, DFS_numbers. Instagram is DFS by the numbers. Should be able to get the UFC 280 content out very early, so check out the website. Everything should be up fairly early this week. I think of 14 fights, so it's going to be a great card. I can't wait for UFC 280, but we have UFC 262 coming this Saturday. I think from a DraftKings perspective, this card is awesome. It should be fun, and can't wait to make some money. So best of luck, guys, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. See ya.